I'm sure whatever it is, I can handle it. What
It appears there are hundreds of hairy balls descending through the air.
Roll down on me. Welcome to I Hope You. Welcome to I Hope You Suffer.
If you haven't watched the movie yet, that's not going to be as funny to you, but you're going to see it and you're going to be like, what?
Oh, God. This is episode 29 of I Hope You Suffer. My name is Nathan.
I'm Kit.
And this week we are talking about Critters, a new binge from Shudder. Just kind of a quick, shorter episode. Just kind of talking about this completely insane Critters, quote-unquote, TV show that Shudder put out.
Insane is a good word for it.
I watched it at like 5 a.m. after it dropped. So it was like relatively sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Already. And like it hit me kind of perfectly at the time. And then like I rewatched it today and I was like, alright, well it's not like as good as it was the first time, but I still liked it.
Yeah, so I watched it after it was one of my longest days of work for the year. It was our inventory, so I was there all goddamn day. I've been stressed out of my mind. Finally wrapped up, went and had a couple margaritas. So I got home pretty tipsy. I put it on, and I was just like, holy shit. I'm so tired and too drunk for this.
It's definitely like I could definitely see being drunk being a detriment to this because it's crazy.
So what really got me was I think it's one of the first times you see the bounty hunters like they crash land on Earth, and very clearly like they're not anywhere on Earth. Like everything's green screened.
Yeah.
Like it's just like what. Like, there wasn't any kind of, like, just a sandy place you could stand? Like, you couldn't find anything that kind of looked desert-ish? Just...
I'm guessing they just kind of embraced, like, extra kind of low-budget cheesiness.
Oh, they leaned into it hard.
Because, like, there's not a whole lot of info out there for this show yet, but, like, I do know it had, like, a pretty low budget. Which,
like, I'm curious to see what it was.
Like,
because if it was over like $85, I'd be surprised.
I mean, like, considering some of the like critter effects, like, I think all like the practical shit looked pretty good. Or for as much as like Critters puppets are gonna look good.
They look good, but they also seem kind of like soulless.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know?
I think when you see them in the daylight, especially. I think when you see them like in the dark, like on the ship and stuff later, they look a little better.
Yeah. The originals, they seemed like, okay, this could be just some furry creature, out in the wild. Whereas in this, very clearly a puppet.
Yeah.
You know,
But I kind of fucking loved that they just looked like terrible puppets from the 80s. I was into it. The CGI is also...
they have their hair slicked back, wearing ties.
The fucking president is amazing.
President. It's amazing that they have a democracy.
I mean, I'm amazed they got Stephen Merchant to fucking voice the president. Which is fucking amazing.
Surprising.
The CGI is definitely very terrible.
Holy shit.
There are parts that like when they do the Matrix part, which is like real fucking stupid, but like I thought it was pretty good. Of like the fucking Krite just like bending backwards as the fucking like the cafeteria tray goes flying over him. And fucking Tom Lennon is killing it in this.
Yes. Everything.
Oh yeah, Tom Lennon's always good, but
There's that fantastic Terminator 2 throwback with him.
him fucking like DDTing the Krite is like fucking my favorite thing. Getting Tom Lennon to just like somewhat be a badass and just like fight off a bunch of critters is like the best thing.
Is he gonna do like an Elijah Wood like esque turn and just embrace like weird genre cinema?
God, I hope so.
'Cause I'd be super into that.
Yeah. I even feel like he could probably pull off doing like a serious role in like a real horror movie.
Yeah. I mean, even something like not super serious, but slightly more serious in Puppet Master, the newest Puppet Master.
Yeah. I was gonna say more serious than Puppet Master and Critters.
I'm gonna put Puppet Master as more serious than Critters.
Yeah.
Because he's like got to show some emotional range when he wasn't, destroying Nazi puppets.
We take a hard stance on more Tom Lennon on this
Yes.
podcast. I'll even say more Gilbert Gottfried.
He was out of control in this film. That penis.
Oh my god, you could tell they just were just like, hey, improv some shit about like fucking a bunch. He's like, I got you. So I think my only real kind of complaint about this is that it was like clearly a movie they just broke up into like 8-10 minute segments.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, like I've seen a lot of complaints about it online where it's like I had to like click my keyboard to fucking go back, and I'm like, how hard is that in your life, you know?
I didn't press anything. I hit play on the first episode, and then, an episode would end, and you wait 4 seconds, and it's like, alright, just auto-playing the next thing.
Oh, so see, mine doesn't autoplay,
Oh, okay.
but like, it's still like, in the grand scheme of things, how fucking terrible is it to just have to like click back and they click on an episode? We're all gonna die in fucking climate change disaster in like 10 years. Just fucking quit complaining about it.
I was kind of torn on how I feel about the 10-minute formatting,
Yeah.
Like, part of me thinks that it's great, having, like, nice little 10 to 15-minute episodes that, if you don't even have time for a full episode, 30 minutes, whatever, you can, get one of those in quick, like, okay, cool, and then just drop it and move on. But at the same time, again, this was very clearly just like a whole movie that got split up into 8 parts.
Yeah, I think, like, if it was made specifically to be, like, 10-minute episodes, I think I would have enjoyed that aspect more. But, like, no, like, just, again, it, like, is clearly, this was just a movie that they broke into episodes, but it's, like, a very small complaint.
Yeah.
As opposed to everybody online that is losing their fucking minds about it.
Yeah. I'd say it largely works, and it has me more interested to check out some of their other stuff that they have in, like, little 10-minute increments.
Oh, yeah,
like, I think
for sure.
Wax.
Yeah.
I had to check that out because I was like, this is 10 episodes or whatever, but it's only, 8 to 10 minutes each. That's weird, but I'm much more willing to give that a shot now.
I also feel like this would be unbearable if it was like 8 30-minute episodes.
Yes, that is entirely too much.
Yeah. So I mean that I don't know. I feel like especially like on your end where you have like an autoplay, it probably works a lot better. But like, I don't know. It's kind of hit and miss depending on your feeling on like the format. I fucking lost my mind when Christopher, which spoilers for pretty much any of this, because I'm gonna spoil the shit out of some of it, especially
Damn
right
right.
now. Christopher being half Krite is amazing.
All I want from my movies are ridiculous, stupid, fucking nonsense twists like this.
It's so good.
That's all I want. Like, anytime it's like, yeah, no, a critter fucked a human, and now there's a half-Krite person running around that didn't realize it.
And you get a fucking Krite human sort of sex scene, which I'm calling right now. Like, I haven't seen Us, but this is the best scene you're gonna see in any movie in 2019. I watched it and like had to replay it like 3 times because I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
If for no other reason than because the kid's mom just moans, "Roll down on me," to the Krite president.
Who is still wearing his fucking tie.
Oh, yeah. He's very professional at all times.
It's so stupid. I Snapchatted that to like everybody I know because I was like, this is the fucking greatest thing I've ever watched.
Everyone's expecting like pictures of Paul or some shit, and then they get a Krite going down on the woman. What in the hell?
Fucking like his giant tongue, just like lick it all over her neck. It's so good. And then she just like throws a condom away, saying that condoms are like 280s or some shit. And oh god, it is the best scene of all time. There's also like at the end a pretty fucking stupid and amazing Avengers Infinity War reference that like I fucking lost it at too. When like all of the Krites are getting killed and the one just like fades away.
God damn it.
It's so stupid. I mean, so like basically this entire series is just based around this kid named Christopher and his mom Veronica, who like you kind of don't get totally what's going on until maybe like episode 6.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a ways in.
Christopher's like always hungry. His mom is kind of is like trying to get him to like go on a diet, and you pretty much are just led to believe it's because she thinks he's fat or whatever. And he is in love with his friend Dana, who is dating some douchebag jock kid. And it's kind of just like this weird high school movie with critters in it.
After school special, but with a heavy dose of Krites.
A big anti-bullying PSA with just Krites in it.
We need more of that.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree. They should just Saved by the Bell critters crossover. Oh shit, I would watch the fuck out of that. But yeah, like it's kind of a pretty like bare bones kind of plot, I guess, and just as much until you get to about like episode 5 or 6, because it's just like, you know, Christopher's and his friends are being attacked by Krites, and then all of a sudden you find out that Christopher is like half Krite, half human because his mom fucked the president.
What a sentence that is.
It was Y2K, and you know they were at a Y2K party. What else are you supposed to do?
I'm saying.
And then it's just kind of like
That's taking the phrase "getting some strange" to a whole new level.
For real, like I don't know who looks at these creatures and it's just like I will fuck the shit out of that. Except for people on DeviantArt.
It does not get much stranger than that.
And then like about like episode 6 when that like twist is revealed, it turns into this weird like thing of like Christopher and the president bonding as father and son. And like the president Krite uses a voice thing so that like or like a little speech thing.
Yeah, like a translator
to English.
Translate from Krite to English.
And it's all Stephen Merchant doing the voice, which is pretty fucking insane to me still.
It's perfect.
Oh yeah, he does it such a good job. Like Christopher runs off after the reveal, and like he's just like staring at Veronica, and she's like, "Quit staring at me like you're undressing me with your eyes." And then the perfect Stephen Merchant line of like, "What? You're hot."
I think we need to talk about how fantastic it is whenever it's revealed that he is part Krite. Because they slowly like tell him like, "Oh, didn't you ever wonder why you're always so hungry?" And then like his teeth fall out, and he's just got a set of like those super pointed, jagged Krite teeth.
The rows of them.
And then it's like, "And didn't you ever wonder why your vision was so bad?" And his mom tries to explain it as a condition, and then someone like lasers off his eye coverings, so he's got bright red Krite eyes. Like, or the insane amount of back hair that you have. Tear off the back of his shirt. And he's like, "That's not normal?"
She's like, "Yeah, that's normal. You get it from my dad's side." And then they bring up, like, the fucking... He's like, "Oh, you know, not the, like...
Yeah, it's
the quills or whatever."
Like, yeah, tranquilizing quills underneath.
He's like, "What the fuck is a tranquilizing quill?" Oh, it's so good. And then, like... the entire end sequence is just like that like perfect mix of just looking terrible but being kind of awesome at the same time.
I was super excited to see the return of the Krite ball.
Yes, there was no way they like couldn't do it.
Oh yeah.
But it all takes place at like a hot dog eating contest that Christopher signed up for originally, and it's like essentially, he's decided he's going to go back to the Krite's homeworld and live with his dad, the President Krite. Like,
a combination of words that does not get more ridiculous the more you say it.
I mean, I would take a President Krite at this point.
Absolutely. He seemed...
Yeah, he didn't seem like he was a very bad leader. He just... kind of, well, I guess he did kind of let emotions rule his decision making towards the end, but you know, whatever. The bounty hunters have Christopher's friends Dana and Charlie kind of held captive, so he convinces them to go back to Earth to save them by threatening to kill himself with breath mints. He pretends to like poison people. Yes. Like Stephen Merchant just yelling like, "No, my boy!" Like, it made me laugh.
The implied look of worry on the President Krite's face.
So good. They go back to Earth and they're like, there's just this big battle at this fucking hot dog eating contest. That like, it's just like basically Krite's just eating people. Because like, at one point the president says something along the lines, he's like, "Well, they performed like marginally well, so they deserve some food."
The effect of the ball rolling over a couple of people, and then there's just like some really shitty store-bought skeletons.
Oh,
with
yes.
some like
that rolls
scissored up clothes over them, and like 2 splashes of blood. I lost my mind.
It like rolls over the two cops or whatever, and like it doesn't even look like a store-bought costume as much as it looks like they just took some paper into like the shape of a skeleton and put it on the ground.
Oh my god.
It's pretty fucking terrible. I love it. Like, this is the kind of thing that, like, I feel like this podcast was just made for.
Yes.
Because it's, like, equally as good as it is bad.
And it's just completely out there.
Yes, it's got some very, very fucking weird references in it. And, like, just fucking referencing The Matrix, like, 20-something years later. And, like, the Terminator fucking Tom Lennon nonsense and the Infinity War. It's just fucking real crazy. And again, there is a Krite human sex scene. You also, like every horror movie, get a bunch of dead animals in it, which bum me out, but I guess they're going to have Krites they're going to eat. But this fucking, like, this entire end scene of, like, Christopher with his, like, ripped apart clothes, but then wearing a cape.
Yes. The fucking cape. God damn it.
Oh, it's so good. And then, like, the one thing that drove me crazy is that, like, one of the bounty hunters is, like, disguised as Dana and stabs him. But then at the end, when he's, like, after, like, everything goes down and he's sitting on, like, the gurney at the ambulance, he just, like, gets up and leaves. And I'm like, you have a fucking good 6-inch, like, knife wound into your belly. You should probably seek medical attention.
So many stomach wounds in these films that we watch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them, which does not make me happy. Because they seem very painful.
Yes, they do not seem great.
So, like, we were talking before, like, I've seen the first 2 Critter movies. I haven't seen 3 or 4. Just, like, I've been wanting to get, like, the collection. I just haven't had the money to buy it yet.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's been, I saw those probably in, like, the late 90s, so it's been a long time. Is the fucking weird arm thing, like their little wristwatch thing, was that a thing in the first movies? Or is that, as far as you're aware, at least?
I think maybe. It's been the same for me. I haven't watched those in ages. Really, like, the only memory I have of them is watching Critters 2 and seeing it was PG-13 and then seeing a naked pair of boobs in it. And I was like, wait, this was PG-13, what?
Oh, the 90s. Yeah, those, like, that... I couldn't remember, like, that didn't seem familiar, but I also was not aware. I assumed, like, maybe those probably, because they probably come in, like, maybe 3 or 4, if not the first ones. Because it seems like, from some of the reviews and shit I was reading, like, 3 and 4 are when it gets, like, kind of bonkers.
Literally all he has going for it is that it's Leonardo DiCaprio's first film.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah.
God, I need to fucking watch these. I need to revisit 1 and 2, and I want to watch 3 and 4, because...
Yeah, I need to just marathon all 4 of them.
I'm kind of surprised. Like, it would have been fucking awesome if Shudder was able to just get the rights to them before this, like, dropped, so you could have just binged, like, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I would say watch it, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth your time. Honestly, there's not much of a time investment. You can watch that first little 10-minute episode, and if you don't enjoy that, you're not gonna like the whole thing. So it's real quick determining if you're gonna enjoy it or not.
I would even say maybe give it the first 2 episodes, because even at that point, it's like 19, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because, like, the first episode, you basically spend with the Krites. You, like, then, like, in episode 2, I think, is when you start getting kind of into, like, the human backstories. So, I mean, I feel like if you can't deal with them, you're not going to like the rest of it. But, I don't know. I liked it. I feel like, again, it was, like, the the thing that like we kind of talked about when we were talking about doing this podcast. Like, this is the kind of shit we were talking about doing, not fucking Nudist Colony of the Dead. Like, originally the idea was sort of along the lines of, oh, let's watch like terrible movies that we love. And then we were just like, holy shit, Amazon Prime just has a bunch of absolute garbage we should watch.
All of them with Komodo dragons and sharks.
Yes, more sharks. I mean, like, for real, if you already have a Shudder spot, or if you already, like, have Shudder, like, just watch it. At the most, it's going to take, like, 80 minutes of your life. It's essentially like watching a movie, and you get to see a Krayt fuck a woman.
Yeah.
What else did you want?
What more could you want? Yeah.
Yeah, this is, next week will be Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm gonna be out of town for a week, so we figured, like, just drop something kind of quick on this, because I needed to talk to somebody about it. I needed to discuss this fucking sex
driving him crazy.
And then, like, next week will just be, like, a full episode again. Just this way, we don't miss a week. We got something at least coming out. But yeah, Killer Clowns from Outer Space will be next week now, which is one of the best movies of all time. It has very good effects in it. Alright, I hope you suffer, but why?
But why?